Hi, everybody. I know I'm on a little early, and that's okay because I'm going to play a little bit of Orion for you from New Beginnings album. This called Old Time Rock. We'll listen to half maybe, and then I'll start our little presentation.
Tell me what's that sound jumping out of my radio? Tell me what's that sound jumping out of my radio? Well, it sounded like something that I heard a long time ago. And a slap bass walking like a cat on a hot tin roof. And a slap bass walking like a cat on a hot tin roof. Well, the guitar burning like a whiskey and a hundred proof. It was the old time rock. It was the old time road. It was the old time rock. It was the old time road. It was a groovy little sound that rocked me to my soul. Yeah, play my song.
Oh, that was just a very upbeat song. We'll listen to the rest later at the end. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're doing good. I'm out here in this wonderful sunny day, nice and dry up here in New Hampshire today. Very happy about that. All right, so we're going to cover the rest of chapter 7 and a part of chapter 8. Chapter 8 is just basically one like paragraph long or letter long. There's a couple letters in chapter 8. And we're at the end of this book. So we'll probably have one more episode of the actual reading of the book, and then after that, we will do some news coverage and things like that that were on TV at that time period. So, without further ado, we're going to start. I hope you guys enjoyed those two videos I shared the last two nights. We had a birthday party basically for the group on Facebook. It turned 1 year old on August 8th. Okay, so this is something interesting that we'll go over later when we talk about numerology, because obviously Elvis Presley was big into numerology. We're going to read about that more in this chapter. So hello to everybody who's watching. Those of you that miss it can watch the recording, of course. We always have it recorded, so that's a great deal. All right. So without further ado, I am going to actually put my PowerPoint on, and hi. And then I have one video to share as well during this presentation. So I'm going to get on this and I'm going to find my page and we're going to get reading. Okay. And there's a lot here that he's going to let out, give to us today. Let's find it. I'm glad I put this all in one presentation, because then I can actually, if I ever do it again, I have this already made and I don't have to do it again. So that will be good. All right, here we go. All right, so the next letter that we're going to read was written in September 20th, 2000. And it was in Austin, Texas time. So he was in Austin at the time. And he said, "Dear Doc, good job. You did a great job. And changes I want to make are as such, blank, blank, blank. Remember, you will come under a lot of scrutiny by stating my life. Also, most importantly, do you want to use your name and address? You will be hounded by every nut, and I don't want you to be plagued with all kinds of problems. I have already been told through a source that Lisa Marie will cause problems if BJ's picture is shown, and you are taking a tremendous risk using your real name, and you have a good job and a great family, and I don't want you to jeopardize it." So Elvis always, or Jesse always, thought of other people besides himself. So the first things that he showed on here is obviously he commends the doctor for doing a good job on writing the book. I guess he had perused everything and there's some things he needed to add. He also said something about Lisa Marie already causing some trouble with BJ's picture. Now, I'm assuming BJ's picture was probably the picture of him and Benjamin Storm on the lawnmower that was presented in this book. He said, many people are my so-called friends who have gotten wind of this project are unhappy and jealous. They wanted to make all the money off of this book. And I want you, Linda and Byrne, to make some money off this publication. You all deserve it, my loyal friends. I have told you many intimate secrets and have many more to tell you. Whatever you people feel like asking, just go ahead. My numerology chart exposes more than just 1977 and 1935 having some significance. And tell Shuma and Byrne they were equally important to me. You are my trinumerate. All right, so trinumerate, I had to kind of look that up because I wasn't sure exactly what that meant. But what he's saying is that whatever friends got wind of this book, they're probably gonna be jealous and unhappy because they wanted to make money off of it, not his new friends that he has. But they deserved it. Now, to tell you the truth, you're gonna find out. They did not make any money on this book at all. But the people that are selling it now are making a lot of money that are selling it online because it's a rare book. So a trinumerate, I can't even speak today. I looked this up. It means 3 numbers. So 3 numbers in a row. So how Linda explained it was a lot to do with numerology. But a trinumerate is either 888 or 999 depending on their birth dates. Anyway, my dog's barking, so just bear with me. So the trinumerate, she explained, was like his birthday is 1/8, right? 1935. So if you do 1 times 8, you get 8. 2 times 8, you get 26. 3 times 8 is 24. 1935. I don't know how they did it, but anyway, she figured it out. There was 3 8s. I'm sorry, I got wind blowing my papers away. Now my book lost pages, so I'm using photocopied pages. All right. So it's hard to explain, but we'll explain it more as we get into the numerology in the chapter here. So he basically thanks them for helping Burn out with his finances. Okay. All right. And he said he thanked them for their loyalty to him. Right? Because he really likes loyalty. Okay. So the next thing that Dr. Hinton had mentioned was that Jesse sent him another gift, and that was the gift of the Apache police bag, which is right here. And he said that Jesse received it several years ago. Gave it to Burns several years ago. And Burns said that Jesse wanted him to have it, the doctor, to put it in the book. He said it was an Apache police star that once belonged to Jesse as part of his collection of police badges. And he said that this one of all the badges that he collected was one of his favorites. I'm not quite sure why, but hey, whatever it is, it is. Okay. The other gift that he got, I'll go over in a little while, so I'm going to go to the next slide. All right. So there were more revelations in the book. I have my pages all out of order here now. Give me a second. All right. So he received a following letter on October 21st, 2000. And he talked about his fascination with the hoax of his death was started with Jim Morrison when he died on July 3rd, 1971. He said, although he didn't see any correlation, he died at 27. He was astounded as as famous as a body that as he was, the body was just closed up and shipped out Now, I don't know all the facts concerning his death, he said, but I thought and awfully strange that no autopsy was performed, or so I thought, and just forgotten about. A lot of people have said that Jim Morrison probably faked his death as well. They said they questioned it because they, had a hard time finding his body or whatever the whole deal is with that. And there were a lot of rumors about his death. I noticed that he was born on the 8th day, born in 1944, 1 minus 8, and died in 1971 equals 1 minus 8. So, yeah. I remember my comeback in 1968. 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 8 equals 24. Obviously, I was no longer 24, so I reversed my age to 42. The next time that number had any relevance was 1977. 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 7 equals 24, when I would be 42. Now, according to Linda, on her site and in Cairo's Book of Numbers, she talks about it. If you are adding 8 plus 16 plus 1977, that equals 2001, and 2001 was the name of Elvis's entrance song in concert. Now, she said something about 24, so there are 3 8s involved, and we will go through some more 8s in a little bit. But 8 was Elvis's number because that was the date of his birth. But also in the book of numerology, the Cairo's Book of Numbers, that was his number in the Cairo's Book of Numbers. Because he was born on the 8th day. Like my number is 7 because I was born on 25th day. 2 plus 5 equals 7. There's another book of numbers that uses the birth date, the whole birth date, which makes his number a 9, which would understand the numerate concept, because Linda's number is 9, and if you do Elvis's birth date, there's a 9 involved, and I guess Burns' birth date has a 9 involved, and I'm not sure about Dr. Hankton's birthday, but I heard it was the 8th as well, but I'm not sure. June 8th, something like that. But I'm not sure on that. So, 24 was a number that was very important to him. And it seemed to follow him. So, if you take 8 and 16 and 1977 and you add them all together, like they're all part of they all have 8 as a factor. That's what I want to say. Like 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 1 is 8. And then 1977 equals 24, which is 3 8s, basically. So in the Cairo's Book of Numbers, it meant assistance and association of those of rank and position with one's plan. It's a favorable number, and when it comes out in relation to future events. And if she looked up the number 42 in the Cairo's Book of Numbers, it meant the same thing as 24. So now you know how he got the age, but also the year equal to 24. So he figured that would be the perfect date to stage his death. So there was other things that he revealed. He said, numerology can play an important part of my life, as has played an important part of my life. And we knew that would have to be the date. So he said, I picked the most naive person I could think of in Ginger Alden. Although she waited way too long in discovering my body. Now, Linda had mentioned something about Ginger Alden. I might do a little video about her and some of the background information that they have on Linda's site, that she has some book articles and things like that about her in their relationship. It was a pretty short relationship, a quick, if you want to call it engagement. I think it was more of a staged thing for him. He knew he was going to do this. The main reason why he did not keep Linda Thompson around is because she was more alert and more smarter and less naive than Ginger. He knew he could pull it off because Ginger did not pay much attention to him. I mean, me personally, if that was my boyfriend and he said, I'm going to go in and go to the bathroom, or my fiance, I'm going to go in the bathroom and read, and I wait a little while and I say, are you all right in there? You know, I would have checked on him a couple times, maybe, because I'm a light sleeper anyway. But for her, she woke up from her nap or whatever that she was doing. She took a shower, she did her makeup, she called her mother before she even walked into the bathroom to check in on him. That would have been the first thing that I probably would have done, was check in on him. How come he's not dead yet? Those types of things. So this is what he was talking about. Anyone who knew my predicament at the time and had any sympathy for my lifestyle can forgive me for what I did. Okay, so then he goes into the numerology. And he said, most people, if they know what to look for, will find significance in forms of numbers in all of my movies. So there's two movies that he really mentions in the end of this book. So I'm going to actually put on a little video that I made showing the numerology in like a picture form, okay? And then we'll go back to the rest of the PowerPoint. If they know what to look for, will find significance in the forms of numbers in all of my movies. For example, the gravestone in Loving You. The year on the gravestone, 1878, equals 1 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8 equals 24. And I want to let you guys know that my plus and equal button is kind of sketchy. I thought it hit equal and I accidentally hit plus, but it's actually supposed to be the equal sign. And I didn't see it till after the video was done, so just don't mind me on the typo. All right. Sorry about that. You have to look at the movies. My hero, James Dean, died at the age 24. But I was on top of the world then, and I wanted to live. He wanted to encourage his fans to look at all of his movies for numerological signs. For example, he specifically stated that in the movie Jailhouse Rock, during the famous dance routine, there is a number on the wall in the scene which adds up to 8. His birthday of birth. He asked me to please stress how important numerology was and still is to him even today. If we kind of looked at that picture with this jacket here, I'm going to back this up, but I'm going to talk over the sound. So give me a second. Birth. You shut the. Okay. See the number on his jacket says 6240. If I were to add 6, 2, 4, and 0 together, that equals 12. 12 times 2 is 24. So he was still using factors of 8, if you think about it, right? So 24 was a number that was very important to him. There's also another thing in the scenes at in the back on those bars, and I'm not sure if it's because it was 4 doors on the top and 4 doors on the bottom, but each door has the number 1313 written on it. I don't know if you see that, but on the top you can see the set of numbers, and down at the bottom the set of numbers. So I was thinking, well, maybe there's something to do with the 8s, but I'm thinking, okay, it's listed 8 times, and he has 8 on one door. So 8 plus 8 is 16. So that's what I was thinking that he was thinking of. But I also think it might have been because of the way that it's shot, that no matter where he was, the 1313 would show up. But it would show up twice, not just once, because it's on both sides. Very interesting how that that worked out. And the other thing was that Linda had mentioned in it, this is underneath Elvis and his numerology tab on her website. You can get this on her website here. Let's see if I can do this one. It would be Elvis and his numerology. If you look up this website, all right, and you look underneath Elvis and the numerology, you will get more information about numerology and how it works in his life. You will also get more information. I think she had some other things on there that were quite interesting, like the his data, the correlation of his date of birth with his um the date he came out becoming famous, whatever, his recordings and everything, it matched in numbers. It was quite interesting. So if you guys have a chance, you can look into that. Numerology is very difficult to understand, but I do have on Facebook under this page here, if you are on Facebook, if you look up ETMIA 18357, you will find a free copy of the Kairos Book of Numbers on that page. And that's our Facebook page. And you can get it free on Google as well. Very interesting read if you're interested in learning more about the Book of Numbers. But there are 2 books of numbers out. As she goes in further about the other one with the 9s, because if you were to go like on numerology.com, they're going to give you that book instead of the Kairos Book of Numbers, which was confusing as heck. So I'm like, well, why is he referring to himself at 8 when he really is a 9? And then I realized, oh, there's 2 different books. So that's probably why. It really can get confusing. All right. So now that I covered that part, I'm going to go back into the PowerPoint here. I think we're almost done at the end. Okay. So he says that he worries about his reputation and he would not be angry with the doctor if he decided that he did not want to do this. All right. So before I go into the last final wishes, I'm going to go back into this. So he sent him in December 2000 3 more gifts. Now, on this page here, you see 2 rings and hair. So he gave Doctor 1 garnet gold ring. So it has a garnet stone in it, which must be the one on the top. And the other gold ring was a gift to me from I don't know who. So he sent another gift down the bottom. It's a gold ring, but he doesn't know where he got it from. And he said there will be more rings for him in the future. He said, be careful and discreet with the names in the book. And I guess you may want it printed and so on. But he also sent him hair. And the hair samples were from 1957 or 58. The only thing is you can't really use the hair samples for DNA, because they're not cut at the root. But it's kind of cool to have, hair samples. I don't know what it would do to help him with the hair samples, but all right. So he says in chapter 8 that this is not the end, and I'm going to just read a little bit of this, but not much, because he said basically that the last few years of his life had been, oops, I forgot one thing. My apologies. His final wishes he mentioned in the book over here. He says he wanted the doctor, Linda, Tom, and Bern to cremate his body and spread his ashes around the home where he was born. I don't know if they can spread ashes anymore, but if they can, they will. But if not, and if he passes away before that, I'm sure they'll bury his ashes. But someone had asked me what they plan to do when he passes on. And that is what they plan to do. That's his wishes. So we'll just go with that. Okay. And he said that this is not the end. He said it was it was exciting. Jesse was a big influence in his life, and he was very honored to write his book, he said that he wanted to make sure that he didn't jeopardize his privacy or his safety in any way. And then he said by treating his chronic pain condition appropriately, his quality of life had improved. And he was insistent that I'm trying to figure out what it did. Not to put his identity basically in the book, but he did it anyway. Okay. And so basically he said he stressed the importance of numerology that played in his life and that he was guided by numerology in all of his major decisions in his life. Right. And that is basically the end, almost the end of chapter 8. There is a few letters left in the book to read. And these are letters that are written, which I will do in the next episode. That were associated with people that he came in contact with through the doctor. So anyway, that's basically it for the book. So I hope you guys enjoyed the book. I will, like I said, I have read one of the I think I've read Burns' letter 3-4 times because I thought it was telling. It was very interesting, because of the fact that he mentions like going down a dirt road to an abandoned farm and, all that stuff. And it reminded me of down in Mississippi. All right. So now I'm going to look at your comments because I didn't get a chance to see your comments when I'm on live stream sometimes. So now it's my turn to look at the comments. All right. So I'm going to say hi to everybody first. Sandy, hello. Claudette, hello. Edward, hello. How are you today? Okay. Sandy, I would have asked him if he was okay as well as seriously. Oh, yes. I mean, that would have been the first thing I would have done. If I loved a man so much I'm gonna marry him, and then I would have been like, boy, he's taking a long time in the bathroom. I better go check on him. But she was naive, fell asleep, and then took a shower and did her makeup. And she never even inquired of him, where is he? How come he never went to bed? Didn't even check first. Like she was all about making sure she looked good, I guess. I don't know. Claudette. Yes, it's very strange that she did her makeup first. Yeah, and took a shower and called her mother even before she even went over to check on Elvis. Very strange behavior. The last thing that I would have occurred to add putting on my makeup. Very weird. Yes. The last thing that would have occurred was putting on my makeup. Very weird. Oh, okay. You just corrected it. Okay. Now, Edward, E. I'm not sure the E is for, but was that for the music or what? I have no idea. But E, he did twice. Sandy, I enjoyed the book. Thank God I didn't have to buy it. It is too expensive. Yes, definitely. I think the cheapest book I found, one of my, I can't speak today, group mates found was $300, and I don't know if that's been bought yet or not. But anyway, okay. Anyway, so before I finish with the beginning song, oh wait a minute, which Elvis was this? Number 1, Jesse. Number 2, Elvis, or number 3, 2 more unnamed tunes, or who's who? All right, so Jesse Elvis is Elvis. That's it. There's no other brothers, nothing like that. Okay, so I don't know if that helps you, but he was a twinless twin, and his twin died at birth. All right, so there is some type of record birth record saying he did not survive. It's in the community section of my channel, but you might have to go down in the communities, like down, down, down. It's down there somewhere. I also have a video called Elvis lives as his twin, Jesse. You can look at that video as well. All right, that might help you. Okay. But yes, he was born a twinless twin, raised as an only child, and did all the work for him by himself. He did all the entertaining and everything by himself. He was a very busy man. Let's just say that. But yeah. All right. I don't know if that helps. Okay. So I had put out 2 posts in the last 2 days. We had the birthday celebration for the group. So the first one was about Bob Joyce not being Elvis. I think it's because I used video clips I hadn't been able to use with the other technology that I had. And some comparisons with their singing. So we could tell by the singing in that short clip of the video that I made that they don't match in singing or voice at all. So anyway, we determined that. The second video I sent out last night, really late. If you guys haven't had a chance to look at that one, I am looking for comments on, I think we determined the song was called, my brain is just like fried today for some reason. I can't remember what I was doing. But anyway, there's a song there that I want you guys to listen to. It was a comparison side by side of a song. My brain is gone. Anyway, then you guys have to tell me if Elvis is singing the first version, the second version, or both versions, or if it's Jimmy singing the first or the second, or both. You guys let me know on that one. And that was last night, right? Lay Around in Love. That's the name of the song. Sorry. All right. Lay Around in Love. Okay, Olivia, ask away. Ask the question. All right. So I'm just going to just kind of expand out a little bit. So when Elvis was born, he was born 34 minutes after his brother. Was Elvis hurt in 1975? Not sure. What do you mean by hurt? And if anybody else knows anything about Elvis being hurt, let us know. I know that his wrist was broken doing karate, but I think that was like 72 or 3 or somewhere in there. I'm not sure what you mean by hurt. 75. I know he's heartbroken quite a few times. And he's gotten hurt quite often, but it was mostly karate based or something like that. Anyway. She asked this question. If anyone knows anything about that, let me know. I don't know anything about that. I've read about 4 or 5 books about him, and I didn't see anything regarding that. Well, Vernon had blood on him, and Parker said it was an auto accident. I have no idea. Not sure. Today in Hot Springs, Arkansas, a big gathering and George magazine featuring Bob Joyce preaching a sermon. Well, that's cool. Bob Joyce is a good preacher and he's a good pastor. All right. And a great singer in his own right. He's got a really nice voice, but it's not the same as Elvis's voice. Chanel, hi, how are you? Yes, he's still around. He's in frail health. I'm gonna say he's doing well for an 89, almost 90-year-old man. He'll be 90 in January. He had a mild stroke in February, had no damage from that. So I don't know else more. I know he deals with a lot of health issues, so he's in and out of doctors a lot, according to Linda. Yes, he is so fantastic. Okay. Yes. Bob Joyce is fantastic. All right. So, the song that I shared at the beginning was from the New Beginnings album. I did not make a real video out of it, but it sounds a lot like Elvis singing. The only thing at the ending was kind of interesting, but I think it is Elvis. My group says it's Elvis. The other one that I had played on YouTube was the other one, was You're Never Too Old to Rock and Roll. Now I thought that was Elvis, but then everyone else said it was Jimmy. So I was kind of like, okay, we have like a mixed bag. Here on this side, it's more Elvis. On that side is Jimmy, and then vice versa. It's kind of interesting. Different things. Okay, so what's the next show? It's a mystery, the whole story. Okay. All right. So what we got from this book is that this is exactly what happened and everything as far as his health, everything that you need to know if you are new to this topic or you still think Bob Joyce is Elvis. It's not. He's not Elvis for any shape or form. You can look up this website, has a current picture of him, which is in this book and in one of these videos. I think video number 3 on this book series has the colored picture of this book, of his picture with Benjamin. Has his DNA test, which we will go over. Has handwriting analysis done on his handwriting for the book, because his book has handwritten letters in it. Also she has voice analysis on one of the movies, called Elvis Found Alive, which was dated in 2011. And there is 15 songs sung for that movie that are on this website. You can get them free. You can also listen to them on Highway 61 on YouTube. I don't have permission to make videos or play the music on my videos. So, that will have to be shared separately. Like I share it on YouTube, on Facebook all the time, but I can recommend it, that channel if you guys want to listen to current songs by him, and they were done in 2011. All right. So, okay, so I'm going to play this rest of this song, and then if there's any more discussions, I will answer them, and then I'll end the live stream.
Well, the saxophone wailers sound like a wild man's scream. Well, the saxophone wailers sound like a wild man's scream. Smoking like something I'd never seen. It was the old time rock. It was the old time roll. It was the old time rock, rock, rock. It was the old time roll. And the groovy little sound that rocked me to my soul. It was the old time rock. It was the old time roll. It was the old time rock, rock, rock. It was the old time roll. And the groovy little sound that rocked me to my soul. And the groovy little sound that rocked me to my soul. And the groovy little sound that rocked me to my soul.
Right, so that is a quick song called Old Time Rock by Orion. And I'm not sure if that is actually Elvis's voice, but it sounds a whole lot like him. All right. So, let's see. What else we got here? There was a magazine that reported stars as being ransomed. Do you know the magazine? Nope, I do not. Mm-mm. I know that I've heard some people say that there are some other people that have staged their deaths. I've heard rumors, like Michael Jackson, Prince, Princess Diana, Marilyn Monroe, of course, Jim Morrison. I heard John Lennon. I've heard a bunch of them, but there's no really significant evidence other than Elvis's, and maybe Jim Morrison. But I also heard like JFK Jr. as well, but not sure. Right. So it's a mystery and the whole story. Okay. That was great. I saw it. Happy first year. Yeah. I think I already kind of covered that a little bit on the video. So if you guys um haven't seen that video, you may watch that. It's on there somewhere. All right. No, I'm not sure. Okay. So it probably was Jimmy Ellis, but like I said, don't know. Sound a lot like them. They sound almost exactly like them to do. And so that's why I said the other video that I have out, Lay Around and Love on You. There's two versions of the song. Okay, so one was on Orion on its album, Orion. Another one was a reissue by Ellis James. They named him Ellis James. They said it was Jimmy Ellis, but I'm not sure. And it sounded a lot like Elvis, but I'm not sure. So they're very, very close, and they could switch off because he did admit that he did sing songs for Orion. We don't know how many, but yeah. And there are some that I know for sure are Jimmy that I can tell. All right. I would freak out if Jesse Elvis decides to come out live. I would too. I don't think so though. I think he is kind of ready to go home to Jesus, like he's kind of just waiting it out. He's living in different places all the time. They move him around. He's got security. He's in hiding. He can't go on camera. He's not on the internet. He's not on social media. The only place that he's on the internet is Linda Hood Sigmund's Truth. That's she calls him. He calls her and tells her what to put on there. Updates on his health or whatever. So yeah, she's his voice. Right. But yeah, I would too if he ever came out live. And I think that he probably wouldn't because Jim, who's my partner on those videos, he said to me he's a family member and he has been in contact with him before. And he said, he worked so hard to separate himself from the image of Elvis that he has no want or anything to go back to that. And I think that a lot of it has to do with his religious beliefs. And he did not want to be the image anymore. He was tired of being Elvis. He wanted to do something else. Okay, so why would Elvis be Orion? Okay, so this is the mystery. I have 3 videos about the 2 voices of Orion. Live videos. You can check those out. Start out with the first one, work your way up. Okay, so on LindaHoodSigmundTruth.com, there is, I will give you that website now so you know. There is what she calls the, oops, that's a book. Hold on. Oh, that's continued. All right, close enough. All right. She has what they call the Orion connection. She asked him one day if he sang for Orion, and he said, "Yes, I did." He admitted to it. Okay? So, the story is on Is Elvis Alive, the book. I cover this up so you guys can watch it. I'm just going to give you a little synopsis. There is, it's all about the novel Orion and why it was pulled off the shelves. And it was about a star, a musical icon who staged his death, and his manager was the mastermind behind it. And he staged his death to escape fame because he was a very religious, very Christian boy, and the image got too much, and a lot was going on, and he was just miserable. And it was kind of mirrored Elvis a lot. And it was pulled off the shelves in 1979 when it came out. The artist Orion was based off of that book. Gail Brewer Giorgio got a phone call from Orion, and he talked about being a twinless twin and other things. She goes to the concert and asks Orion, Jimmy Ellis, about the phone call to see if he remembered or recalled. And he had no idea what she was talking about. None. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, lady. So, Elvis was Orion for a while. And the reason why he became Orion was, well, first of all, he could wear a mask. No one could tell. They looked alike, same height, same stature, same face shape. All he'd do is put a mask on, dye his hair, and you could have ate plastic surgery. You can do a lot of things. Prosthetics can do a lot of things. Brown contacts. There you go. Look like Jimmy Ellis. Voices sing their songs. Their voices are very, 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 very similar. People have put Orion albums through the voice testing, and it proved to be Elvis's voice on some of the songs. Not all of them, but most of the songs. But the ones that are in questions are the ones that are definitely confirmed are on Linda Hood Singman's site. The duets between Jerry Lee Lewis and a special friend or a guest, a Killer in the King album is one of them. The other songs that he kind of confirmed to her because he never let her, he would have had her take them off her site. As Long Tall Sally sounds just like Elvis back in 1973 when he sang it live. The other one is the um excuse me, my brain is the song that I had posted yesterday. Uh, on here, on YouTube and on Facebook. All right. So it was called I'm gonna look it up because I can't remember. My brain is like mush today. I think it's because I didn't get enough sleep last night. Sorry, guys. Lay Around and Love on You. She has a copy of that on her website. I have a link to it. I can link it up top if you want to listen to it, but it's very muffled sounding, high in bass, like it's recorded from a speaker. I did it through the MP3. That one is on her site. I sung by him, and he never told her to take it off. The other one is Crazy Little Thing Called Love from the Rockabilly album, and there's a couple other songs on that Rockabilly album that sound a lot like Elvis. Another one that I think might be him is Born. Definitely has that sound. This song had that sound, the one I just played, Old Time Rock. And then Down in Mississippi, which was credited to Jimmy Ellis, but I firmly believe it's Elvis. It sounds just like him talking. It sounds like him singing. Pronunciation of words. That was 86. So yeah. All right. So the reason why he sang for Orion is because he said on the Elvis tapes that he could not stop entertaining. It was in his blood. You know, he'd been entertaining people for most of his life, and to break the habit of entertaining people, he was having a hard time. So to become Orion was a great, what they call a great smoke screen, I want to say. So Jimmy Ellis became the front. He was the one in the pictures. He was the one in concerts most of the time. And because he had a mask, they could switch off on stage. There was stories about two separate concerts in two separate cities that friends called each other and said, "Hey, I went to an Orion concert last night." And they go, "You did? I did too." And they said, "Well, how could that be that they can't be in two places at the same time? You know, like two separate cities and two separate states at the same time. You know, he can't split himself in half." So there were two Orions. Um, so I hope that answers your question. All right. But yes, he admitted to singing as Orion. And the thing about this New Beginnings album, which I might cover someday, the label is Aaron Records, Aron, which is the middle name. I think I covered that in Down in Mississippi. So you guys can check that video out about Down in Mississippi. All right. Very interesting stuff. All right. So let's see. Where am I? Oh, okay. I would go all out of my way for an autograph and a pic with him. Laugh out loud. Yeah, me too. Well, Jim's got an autograph picture of him from him. Was sent through Linda. I don't think he does it anymore, but you never know. Didn't all the super strength stuff came from Humes out of Texas back in 1930s from up in Northwest? Well, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Oh, do you mean Howard Hughes? Let me know if that's who you meant. I was like kind of confused. But Howard Hughes was one that was involved in the plan, so what the hell? He did the right thing to escape the trappings of fame and the Colonel's gambling debts. He did. He did. And he also, like I said, he had some health issues, and he had to have that taken care of, or he would have been dead anyway. And then, of course, there was the safety issues involved with the witness, being a witness and being in the FBI and all that kind of thing. So there were many reasons why he did it. I think the Mercury Griffin show was Elvis. I'm not quite sure. You mean Merv Griffin show? I'm not sure exactly what you're trying to say. Anyway. Okay, Mercury is the retrograde on the excellent. Clever way to stay connected. All right. Love the song Down in Mississippi. Sounds like Elvis, all right. Yes. Definitely when he does that cry from Mama, he says guitar, like he does a Guitar Hero. He says Memphis with an extra oomph in that memp part. And when Jimmy sings Memphis Sun, he doesn't say Memphis the same way. So you know that is actually Jimmy singing that song. But yeah. I'm not sure what the no is for, but anyway. Mercury Griffin? No. Hi Gareth, how are you today? So if Elvis set up his death and his location is somewhat known, why hasn't he been able to taken into custody? Well, actually, his location isn't known. No one knows where he's located right now. He was found once, and what happens is when he is, let's say, for the Elvis found alive, what they did was they found him in Simba Valley, California, and then right after the video came out, he did away with John Burroughs and just did a fake death thing for him. Got rid of the image or whatever, the name. It doesn't go by that name anymore. So anything to keep him safe. He's not, if he is found, he's moved usually, and he's well guarded. I'm not quite sure if it's private security or if it's government. I heard it was government, but I'm not sure. Because he worked for the FBI for a long time, so he has access to that type of thing. Hi, Bettina. How are you? I'm good. I'm glad you're okay. Oh, Merv Griffin. Well, I thought that's what you were talking about, but I'm not quite sure exactly what you are trying to tell us. Like what date or you mean like the show? Yeah, just tell us what you mean by that. I think it's not illegal to fake your death. It is not illegal to fake your death, but if you collect life insurance, you fake your death and you collect the life insurance, then you come back or you get found, that's when it's illegal. But if you don't collect life insurance, you're good. And if you notice, Elvis's life insurance policy was never cashed in. And that was one of the clues that was found by Gail Brewer Giorgio and the other people involved in finding out if he actually faked his death or not. And there was a bunch of stuff missing in the mansion as well after he died. And Burroughs is, I heard that there was somebody, a neighbor of his, and he was a child. He used John Burroughs as an alias when he was Elvis as well. Jim knows more about that than me, though. I don't know. Jim is family. He knows a lot more than me as far as that's concerned. The time he was on the show with as Jimmy Ellis. I don't know. I think every time I've seen Jimmy Ellis live, it's been Jimmy Ellis because his hands are a telltale sign in his nose. I mean, like when he sang like Jars of Clay, that was definitely Jimmy Ellis singing. When he was on the show singing, okay, maybe he lip synced it. Back then they could lip sync. So it might have been an Elvis recording, but Jimmy's singing it. He wouldn't allow his image to be on camera. And but if it did, it was very fuzzy. So Sandy said, yes, it was never cashed in, right. 100% proof. And there's plenty more proof where that belongs. There is more. The spelling on the stone is one of the major clues right there. Right. No, they didn't collect his life insurance. They didn't. He has like a $1 million or something policy. Never got collected. Why wasn't it not cashed in? Not what you're asking? I thought it looked like him with plastic surgery and body padding. Maybe. I'm going to have to look that up and see. I really honestly don't. Susan, I really honestly haven't seen that. I'll have to look. I really will. It, you know what really does it for me is the hands. If his fingers are thinner and longer than Jimmy's. Jimmy's have short, pudgy hands, and yeah. He's got shorter fingers is what I'm saying, and thicker knuckles and here and hairier hands. Like hairier on his hands. But and that's gonna be interesting to see. Oh, the spelling on the stone, you mean? Because his middle name is originally on all of his major documents. His middle name is spelled with one A. His stone has two A's. And he didn't want his name on a grave he wasn't in. All right. And there was other things with numerology, and everything else that goes with it. That I never really covered because numerology is kind of boring. But I do have some numerology videos if you want to watch it. I'm going to have to look that up, Susan. I will look that up. And I'll let you know if I think it's Elvis. Actually, I'll let Jim look at it too and see if he can identify. There is a live video, I think, of Orion somewhere. It was like older, like fatter. Like I'm going to say late 80s, maybe. And you look at his hands and they're very thin looking and he's kind of overweight. I'm like, I questioned that one. And he's saying, I'll be with you always. Sound a lot like Elvis, but I'm not sure. It hasn't been cashed in because he's still alive. Correct. And a lot of people overlook that. You know, he also filled out his own death report. All right. That's another one. I'm going to read the next book I'm going to read online is Elvis alive? But I'm going to do it in chunks because it's a big book and long chapters. But what I'll do is I'll try to do that one live. It has a lot of information in it. Love it. And it's not that rare, so you still get it if people want to read along with me. But yeah, it's a good book. It's the next best kept secret in the world, really. Yeah. It's too bad it's not too much of a secret, but you know, EPE and everybody around him is bound to secrecy. So they can't let it out. And I don't expect Lisa Marie to have much in her book about it. Why, to this day, that people still believe that Elvis is dead? Because they would rather listen to the myth instead of researching it out themselves and finding out for themselves. And they're too busy thinking conspiracy theorists than looking it up themselves and seeing the evidence that's spelt out there in front of them. And I think the main reason why I had opened this channel was, first of all, I wanted the people in my group who are foreign language to be able to have foreign language captions, like in, Spanish and Portuguese and all that stuff. But another reason is to let the people know that this is actually like real information that's still out there today and nobody seems to know anymore. Because I'm going to say that Linda Hood Sigmund had Facebook pages open and somehow she lost those pages. So not many people know these days, and they just start listening to, Bob Joyce's Elvis stuff and other brothers' conspiracies instead of really doing their research and finding out for real, who it is and how they can get that information and the proof. And there's plenty of video, handwriting, and DNA proof that he is alive, and voice proof. Mine is AA, and I knew and lived with Elvis, but I was 3 when he passed away. I never knew, I never was a follower, but I like all his work and kept his secrets. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Julian, people believe whatever the media says. They're mind controlled and they tell lies, visions. Yeah. And I think it goes with everything. Like for instance, the media is a very I want to say biased, um very backward, or what do you want to call it? Misinformed. They go with a narrative they're told to go with. Like it's very similar to political candidates today. I mean, God forbid if you say anything against one particular candidate that they go for or whatever, then you got the one that everyone loves but the media hates. I'm not going to say any names and I'm not going to say who I'm voting for or anything, but I'm just saying do your homework before you go and vote. Do it and save our country, because our country is going down the tubes if we get one particular candidate in. Make sure you look at all past video. Do not go with just right now what one candidate is saying and the other candidate is saying. Go by their history, their everything. Do homework and do it with an open mind. Do all your homework. Watch every video, every phrase one candidate says, every video, every phrase, every policy they have passed, that they have signed, and pray, and then decide what the Lord tells you to do, you do it. It's kind of a no-brainer, but I don't like the way this country's going right now. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway. It's not all televisions. There are some good networks out there. I'm going to say Fox is pretty accurate. Newsmax is very good. If you guys want like truthful news, those are the ones that I would really look at. Fox and Newsmax. And as far as TV, online you can get other like Right Side Broadcasting and a couple other ones. But anyway. Good luck to him. I'm not sure. Yep. And mind control. I got it. USA. USA. Anyway. Yes. Keep everybody in prayer. The nation needs it bad. Anyway. The food price and gas is through the roof. Yeah. And my water bill. Oh my word. My sewer bill. I mean, like, over the last year. Electric bill, unbelievable. Anyway, I agree. And I think, we just need to like really like look at everything and research. That's what I did with this topic. At first I was like, I looked at this Bob Joyce stuff and I was like, what? I kind of questioned Elvis being alive, but I was like, what? So I started watching him and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna go by what other people say. I'm going to look online. I'm going to look at his website. I'm going to look at discussion boards. I'm going to look at all kinds of things. I read books about Elvis as well and tried to match them up. And then when I found Good, Don't Cry, Darling, and read that book by Pepper Ritter and went on Linda's site, that's when my eyes were open. All right. All the way. Yes, that hurts the poor the most. And I'm not rich either, by the way. I'm very, very low middle class, almost in poverty level. So yeah, it's not good. When I came across this movie, Elvis Found Alive, and heard his voice, I knew that was Elvis. Then I came across your channel, and I'm totally convinced. Well, I am glad you're totally convinced. And actually, Elvis Found Alive, that is his voice. He admitted it to Linda Hood Sigmund, and the voice analysis and everything was done on the singing. And so, yeah. And if I wish I could play the music, because I would play the music. I tried doing it once, and especially when I was covering the FBI stuff, and I got copyright, so I had to put it, like, I left the video there, but I had to mute out the music. All right, so that definitely is him, and I am going to do a video about that movie too. I think that will be a cool thing. And I can do the clips of the movie, but I can't do the singing part. I don't know why, but I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's a different company. Right. The scars on Elvis's legs, Jesse's legs, and Dr. Hinton, it was a given. Yes. And for those of you that haven't been watching the series, I would highly suggest that you start watching the first half of these live streams. I think this is episode 8. So we have 8 episodes of this book, The Truth About Elvis Aaron Presley, in his own words, by Dr. Hinton and Jesse. And the picture they're talking about, I'm actually going to just pull up my iPad for a minute and pull out the colored one, if you guys don't mind. Because I don't like the black and white one. It doesn't come out good on the screen. And, yeah. And I told Linda I promised her I would not show you guys the enhanced stuff, so I have to give you the other one that she put in. So give me a second. I still have one that has an enhanced, some enhancements on the leg scars and things, and that's episode believe it's number 3. So those of you that haven't seen that one and want to see the one about the picture, that would be the one I would really recommend you looking up. Hold on one second, I'm getting there. I have a lot on my photo stream. All right. Almost done. Well, okay, so this one here, I'm gonna actually fix my screen here so you guys can see it better. Did it live? No? Hello. Hi. Okay, now you can see it better. All right. So this is a comparison of his face and a picture of a similar angle of Elvis, and the little boy on his lap is Benjamin Storm Keough. You could find this full picture on, I think, episode 3 of this book. So if you guys didn't chance to look at that, you can. And there's a little bit more enhanced, like an enhanced photo on there to make it less fuzzy. All right. Susan, when they were in Vegas, all the criminal activities went on under Elvis's nose. He couldn't look the other way. He is a superhero at heart. Yeah. There was a lot going on in Vegas. And yeah, his guys ended up in the middle of drug busts and everything. So. Ah, thank you. Yeah, it's a little overgrown because it was very hot, but thank you. I tried. This is like there's a stream back here. You can't hear it now, but in the spring it's really overgrown and there's all kinds of Virginia creepers back there and other weird bushes that I need to cut back. But it was so hot, I haven't been able to do it. And now that today's nice and beautiful outside, but I don't want to do it today either. But thank you. Just older, exactly. That picture you just showed us, where's he? I don't know. Some location is hideout. We don't know. It's blocked out on Linda's site, so I can't tell. I don't know. It was during the summer, or fall. It's someplace hot because he had just bathing suit on, so someplace hot, but I don't know where. Yeah, it's nice to have a stream when it's not overgrown and you can see it. There's like a little waterfall back there, but like I said, it's all overgrown because it's not really in the land, like on the land. It's like kind of beyond the land line. So yeah, I can. I just can't do it right now, but it is on. Like I said, stream number 3, I believe. I also have a separate video, actually, of the picture. It says, "Is this picture Elvis and Ben?" When I'm done, you guys click on that live stream video, and you will see all the comparisons on that video. I forgot about that. I made a separate video, and all the letter that goes with it and everything, comparisons with eyes, comparisons with smile, comparison collarbone, leg scars, Benjamin. Oh yeah, everything. That pic was in Florida, I would freak out. I'm there. Don't know. I don't know where it was taken. I'm gonna say it was someplace hot, and it could have been Florida. We know that it's been revealed in here that he had a place nearby Lisa Marie to be close to Lisa Marie. So it could have been there. I don't know, honestly. It's like Clearwater, Florida. I think he had places he stayed in Texas. He stays in the South a lot. Texas, Florida, Southern California. I know he had Hawaii. I know he's been in places like Idaho. He said Pennsylvania, Michigan, which he didn't like too much because it was always too cold. Alaska, he was too cold. Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. I've heard he moved around a lot. And he likes the South a lot because it's hotter, and he likes the hot weather. But I don't know where it is. It's undisclosed and not let us know because none of us want to put his safety in compromise his safety. If he is found, there could be some major problems. Even at his age, there could have been some major problems. In the book here, he said that there was a $10 million reward out for his capture, I guess we can call it. And luckily enough, he didn't get turned in when they did Elvis Found Alive because he struck a deal with them. It was kind of, yeah. Clearwater is nice, yes. I've heard he's got quite a few places. Jim tells me some of the things that it tells me some things about that. So, yeah, he's been in Florida. Arizona was another place that was listed in his book. All the southern states. Christian scientists have deep connections with his family. I I think it's Scientology, not really Christian scientists. It's Scientology. It's a little different, but similar. But the Church of Scientology does, yes. As Priscilla and Lisa Marie were involved in that cult type of church. It's mentioned in his book too. Do you have problems playing Jimmy's songs? Because I get them nice and early in the morning. It's a lovely start to my day. No. I don't have a problem playing the Elvis' songs either. I play Elvis songs all the time in my car every day. When I'm out, I do door dashing and I put CDs in, like CD player, and I play a lot of Elvis Presley. I play a lot of his country songs, rock, blues. I love it all. Gospel is my favorite. Gospel. Yeah, I love it. Country songs, because it's a lot of the voices, like in Orion, a lot of those, and Spelling on the Stone, are kind of very country sounding. And his voice is very similar in those albums to his country music that he used to do. He aged like fine wine, but yeah, good. Safety first. We want to keep him safe, his identity. Yeah. I'm going to say, out of all of his gospel songs, I have a hard time choosing which one is my absolute favorite by him. But I'm going to say, obviously, How Great Thou Art is excellent. But I also really like his version of If That Isn't Love. No one can sing it like him. That one. In the Garden. I really love that one. Amazing Grace. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I Have Confidence. I like that one. Yeah. I have a lot of his gospel. I love his gospel music. So $10 million reward, yet a deal was struck. Plus Priscilla had her help in her way. And then Lisa, the way she passed. It's a lot. Yeah. Okay, so yes, he had a $10 million reward for his capture or whatever. I'm not sure what some type of company was after to prove that he was alive. I'm not sure what would have happened if they found him and, the media got a hold of him and probably would have ripped him to shreds or whatever. Or his safety could have been compromised from the mafia if he still has mafia hits out on him. I think once you have a hit out on your life, it's permanent lifetime. Even if the person in the mafia dies, it just goes from one generational person to the next. That's what I heard. I'm not sure on that. But yeah, there's a lot involved. This safety is very, very important, and we don't know what would happen if they did find him or if he even came out. I think there would be a lot of things that he'd have to put into place if he were to come out, and I don't think he plans to ever come out. He said he won't be totally free until he passes on. And he told Jim that. I'm not going to be totally free until I'm passed away and gone to heaven to be with Jesus. So, but I can tell you, anyone who lost a child knows him and Priscilla both struggle with Lisa's death and Ben's death. So, really bad. And he never really got over his mother's death, so you can just imagine what it was like for him to lose his mother, his grandson, and his daughter. And I'm not saying he doesn't have any other grandchildren, because he might, from illegitimate children, which he does have some, a few. But I don't focus on that. So I'm just letting you guys know that I don't focus on that. I might read 1 or 2 books if they reveal something that deals with this topic, then yeah, like Deborah Presley Brando, she talked about a few things about her father being alive, like what her cousin Jean told her, or what somebody else told her. She had that in her book. I shared that. That was all I did. Okay, so all right, Jericho. Hmm. And let's do an extra heavy duty prayer for him. It's getting close to the anniversary of his rebirth. I'm gonna call it that. That's Jesse. So yeah. The image died that day. So we're missing the image, but the man is still very alive at the moment. I haven't heard anything else, so fame is a trap, exactly, but also hiding from the trap and getting rid of the image, he's still kind of in a trap because then he can't get out. Um, well, he's a lot happier now, I'm going to say, not having to deal with the trappings of fame. But I understand his lifestyle. He wanted to be very, he was a very Christian person, believe it or not, even though he studied numerology. The Kairos Book of Numbers has a lot to do with Christianity. It talks about, you know, numbers and God and how it fits in the Bible and all that kind of stuff. So I think that's what he mostly focuses on now. But yeah, he's a very, very religious man, you know. So poor Elvis. Yeah. Do you think there is a chance that Bob Joyce is the half brother of Elvis? I'm going to say there is no record of Bob Joyce anywhere that I can find. Um, no adoption records that I know of, no birth records that I know of. They're not out in public. They're probably private and in his drawer somewhere or whatever. I'm not even sure anything. As far as I know, he's not related anyway to the Presleys. But we don't know because there's no records of them. And the only person that was rumored that might be a half brother of Elvis was Jimmy Ellis. But that wasn't confirmed that I know of. By media or anything like that. And he does have a real half sister proven by DNA, which we will cover when DNA comes up, which will be in the next couple episodes from now. And Vernon had at least one other child, right? And that was Eliza. All right. It would explain the connection with Elvis' family and any similarities. Yeah, but you know what? I'm thinking that maybe he's just an ETA. I mean, his son is an Elvis impersonator. Um, he probably like idolized Elvis or really got influenced by Elvis. And he does the decent job. He does have a very nice voice. And I wouldn't be surprised if he picked up mannerisms. Like I'll give you an example. Like Austin Butler, when he studied to be Elvis for the movie, he studied 2 years to talk like Elvis, sing like Elvis, move like Elvis, walk like Elvis, and live the part. He studied, 2 whole years. And he said it took him 2 more years to drop the accent, to drop the mannerisms, to drop all that stuff. So if you've been studying to be Elvis, like I'm going to say Johnny Herrera as an example, you kind of, or even I'm going to say John Cotner, who was an imitator of Elvis, they kind of lived to imitate Elvis. They pick up those imitations and they never get to drop them because they just become part of their life. Get what I'm saying? So yeah, and that's the only thing I could think of is that he must have um spent time imitating Elvis or being Elvis impersonator or whatever that he was. I think there was some audio, video clips of him being part of like an Elvis, what do they call it, festival of some type, or I'm not sure if it was Elvis Week or what, but he was on stage singing gospels. So I mean, it's a possibility. Could be a tribute artist, you know. Yeah, he's caught in a trap and he can't get out. Exactly. There was another song that he covered. It was called If You Love I think it's If You Love Me, Let Me Know. If You Don't, Let Me Go. Take the chains away, but keep me loving you. I mean, and that was like 1977 when we were singing that. It was originally a Olivia Newton-John hit, but he covered it in his concert. And I was like, take the chains away, but keep me loving you. Get me out of my prison, but keep me loving my fans. That's what I was thinking. Anyway. Oh, Johnny Hera is the guy you saw on Murder. That makes sense now. Okay, yeah, but Johnny Hera is Johnny Hera. Jesse never did anything with Johnny Hera. Or in the place of Johnny Hera. Anyway, it looks like it's getting cloudy out here. I'm gonna move in a minute in case it rains. I don't think so. I don't think it's not on there. Not Jimmy Ellis, right. Alright. Do you know if he has seen the movie? I think he did. I don't know. I think he did. Who knows? Maybe he even met Austin Butler to help him with his study. I don't know. It's not revealed. As far as I know, he did. I think Linda said he did see it, but I'm not sure. Really, I'm not. I'm not sure. The great question. Has he seen the latest movie of Elvis and Priscilla movie? I don't know. The last time I knew from I have a contact that I talked to who is in contact with him besides Jim. And last time I knew, he said he was watching Dallas. So he likes to watch Dallas, but I don't know if he's ever seen the Priscilla movie. I'm going to say maybe not, you know. So, thank you, Joy. I enjoy your channel. Well, I enjoy doing this too. I enjoy it. So, I don't mind doing this at all. I actually like, I've been only going live once a week now lately. So, it's kind of good in a way. I like doing it. It's fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun because I do this. I do the Facebook group as well, and then I have pages and all that kind of thing. So, yeah. All right. Well, you guys, I got to get going. You guys have a great day, a great night, and I shall be back hopefully Thursday night with the last of the book. I'm going to do the letters in the back of the book, and then we'll see what happens next. Maybe the press release. I got a copy of that. All right. See you guys. You look happy. I am very happy. My name is Joy. I'm kidding with you. No, yeah, the joy of the Lord is in my heart. I'm not always happy, but I try. All right. I mean, what good is it to be down in the dumps all the time? All right. I hope he hasn't seen the Priscilla movie. I really don't know. I think his focus isn't even on Priscilla anymore. I think after Lisa Marie died, he probably hasn't talked to her much. And I know I'm gonna say he's pretty maybe a little angry with her about how she handled the documents and all that stuff, but he's a forgiving man, so might be over that by now. All right. Bye. Thank you. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves, guys. God bless you all. Have a great day. And if you have new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Hit the notification button. and favorite this video, send it along YouTube, and share it everywhere. Oh, Friday morning over here. It'll be like Thursday night, 8 o'clock my time. Yeah, it might be morning for you. And like I said, they're always taped, so you guys can always watch them later. All right? Okay. Bye.